What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I am back for another commentary. And this is another episode of my Cincinnati Bengals owner mode here in Madden 25 for the PS3. And off the bat, you guys see I am trying to re-sign Geno Atkins and Andy Dalton. I raised their offers a little bit since my last time negotiating with them, and we'll see what they say. And I'm going to go ahead and end negotiations with Travell Wharton and Terrence Newman. Both guys are getting older at age, and we have younger guys who are better ahead of them. For example, with the cornerback position, we still have Drake Kirkpatrick, who hasn't seen sufficient playing time since he's been drafted. And we also have the emergence of E.J. Gaines. And then we have Leon Hall, who can give us a couple of years. So Geno Atkins, he ended up rejecting that offer, and so did Andy Dalton. So they want to keep negotiating, and we're going to see what they say to those offers you guys just saw at the end of this episode. So a lot of you guys said that I should give Geno Atkins the money he wants and then give Andy Dalton a short-term deal. Some of you guys said get rid of both. Some of you guys said sign both to a 1 year. I got a lot of different responses for that, but what I decided to do was give Geno the money he wants because he is a 99 overall, and give Andy Dalton a short-term deal because Andy Dalton, we know that he's hot and cold. He'll have a couple of good games, then he'll have some really bad games. So I'm going to keep him around for a little while if we can come to an agreement, but it seems like the two sides just can't come to an agreement at this point. But if we can't, I'll use my franchise tag on him, depending on if we win a Super Bowl. If we win a Super Bowl or we get past that first round, I may give him a little bit more money, but I just don't want to overpay him because he doesn't play that well. But let me get into this gameplay. This game is very important, and I'm going to tell you guys why after we talk about their depth chart. As you guys saw, if you were paying attention, they drafted Sammy Watkins to go on the other side of Percy Harvin. And one thing I want to see Madden improve is they actually need to have those slot receivers play the slot, actually, like Percy Harvin, Wes Welker, players like that. They line up on the outside instead of the inside. I don't know how they could simulate that, but I think they should add that in Madden. But they do have Sammy Watkins nonetheless. They still have a very good defense. They have Winfield, and Sherman, of course, is a 97 overall. And then their safety duo is just completely talented and just great. So it's going to be fun to see how Andy Dalton can play against this defense along with this wide receivers core. And we are actually playing in the last game at Paul Brown Stadium. So much history in this stadium. You've had some really good performances in this stadium, and you've had some very bad ones. But all in all, I think the Bengals over the last 2 years that I've controlled them have been very good at home. And I'll probably get you guys an official record coming up soon of our home record since I've started this series. And we're going to try to get our last home victory of a regular season versus the Seahawks in this game. We come into this game, as you guys saw, at 10-3, whereas the Seahawks are 8-5, and this is one of the only good teams we've played this season. I mean, outside of our division, all our games were pretty much easy, but they're going to get harder as the season goes on in these last 3 games, because I believe we play the Browns again, the 49ers, who went 16-0. They still have a good roster. I'm not sure if they lost their coach. And not to mention, they've actually recently re-signed Colin Kaepernick to a 6-year deal. So if he was going to hit the free agency and we wanted to candidate to replace Andy Dalton, Colin Kaepernick is off the table. But we're going to be looking to fill that hole through the draft anyway. But I'm getting way off topic. I was just saying that to say that the last 3 games of our season will not be easy outside of the Cleveland Browns. They are a team with a losing record. But Anquan Bolden is a story this season. We've played against all 3 of his former teams, or we will play after we play the 49ers. We will play the 49ers, we played against the Ravens, and we played against the Cardinals. So that's just sort of weird. But let's get into this commentary. It is a defensive game right now, as the only points that are on the board is the Bengals with 3 points, settling for a field goal a few drives ago, and we will have to punt it again. And this defensive show continues for both of these teams. They come into this game with the 6th ranked offense and the 15th ranked defense. So our defense is playing well versus a good offense, and our offense has to play better against a not mediocre. You can never call this defense mediocre, by the way, but middle of the pack. 15, that's pretty average as far as stats go. But as far as talent, this team is stacked. They have a good secondary, good corners. Bobby Wagner leading the linebacker core, and then you have Michael Bennett on the defensive line along with Red Bryant. They have some really good players on this defensive line in the front seven along with the secondary, like I just mentioned. So all of those things I just mentioned will make it hard for the Bengals to put some points on the board, even though we have a very talented offense. We are still missing Tyler Eifert, by the way. He will return after the 49ers game. Actually, he plays in the last game of the season, so he will return for one more game in the regular season. Then after that, we just have the playoffs to worry about. But Bobby Wagner, I just talked about him. He gets a sack, so 3rd down and 9 for the Bengals, and a very bad pass by Andy Dalton. He just cannot throw the comeback route very efficiently, and Carlos Dunlap is just in the face of Russell Wilson all game, as they are in their 2-minute offense, running a hurry up, trying to get something to go, and they're trying to get some points on the board for the first time. And they're going to hit Sammy Watkins, and he will be put down by EJ Gaines and add another 15 yards to that for a roughing the passer call. And Russell Wilson will lose some of those yards back as Carlos Dunlap brings him down for a sack. So 3rd down and 19 for the Seahawks, and they're going to throw it to the left side, and it will be swatted down by Adam Pac-Man Jones. And that will give the Bengals the ball back after they settle for a field goal. And we're going to hit Marvin Jones, who hasn't really had a lot of playing time this year due to us getting all this talent at the wide receiver spot. But he still plays, and he's still able to make plays. As you guys see, we're going to hit our main playmaker. Do I even need to say his name? Our MVP comes up with a screen pass touchdown, and that will give us the lead going into halftime, and we will be getting the ball to start off the second half. So we lead 10-3 going into the half, and Dexter McCluster taking the opening kickoff of the second half all the way up the sideline, the 20, the 10 touchdown for Dexter McCluster. We signed him at the beginning of the season in the preseason, and he has been playing very, very well on special teams for us in the punt game, getting us very good field position. Not so much in the kickoff return game, but he's been solid. As you guys see, he comes up with a touchdown, increases our lead to 14, which can be a very important 7 points, because for both of these offenses, points are hard to come by, especially when you're playing against defenses like these, so stacked on defense and so talented. And they're getting a very good drive going following that kickoff return, and you can add a 15 yards to that play after they pick up a new set of downs via a run by Turbin, and they're going to get all the way down to the 7-yard line because of a face mask penalty. And Russell Wilson will throw it to Harper, and Harper will come down with it wide open in the end zone, and they cut our lead to 7. So 1st down and 10 for Andy Dalton under pressure, gonna stumble out to the right side. AJ Green is down the sideline wide open, and he will get out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 42-yard reception for AJ Green on that one. 2nd down and 12. We're going to go to Mohamed Sanu, and he dives for the end zone, but he will be out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So 2 big plays for this offense in rapid succession will get us all the way down to the 2-yard line. Giovanni Bernard will be denied off of a toss play, and once again, he's stopped before he can even get going by K. Wright. So that will set up a 3rd down and goal situation from the 4-yard line. Play action pass. We're going to go to Orson Charles, and look what this guy does. He is the Mohamed Sanu of this season. Last season, you guys know Mohamed Sanu had problems catching the ball. This year, it's Orson Charles. We really miss Tyler Eifert at this point, and we have to settle for a field goal, and it hurts so bad when we get a well-executed play, just can't catch the ball on the tight end's part. So that's very upsetting. As you guys see, Sidney Rice will catch the ball, but he will not move the chains for the Seahawks, so they will have to punt it to the Bengals. And Giovanni Bernard, just so slippery when he gets the ball, just avoids tackles so well. I like how he plays, but he will sit out on that play as we hand it off to Ben Jarvis Green Ellis for the short yardage situation, but he will not get it, and we will have to punt it back to the Seahawks. These defenses continue to play well. As you guys see, Carlos Dunlap comes up with another sack, and right there he stops Russell Wilson on the read option. And I told you, Carlos Dunlap is in the face of Russell Wilson all day. He is not allowing him to do much. As you guys see, they pick up some good yards, and that will only be good for field position as they don't pick up the 1st down. They will punt, and as soon as we get the ball back, we get going with Giovanni Bernard, and he comes up with a big rush that time. Later on in the drive, the Bengals are faced with a 3rd down and inches situation. Clean pocket for Andy Dalton. Could have ran that one himself. Instead, he fires it deep, And jumping in front of that pass is Cam Chancellor, and he will pick off Andy Dalton for his first mistake of the game. And Sidney Rice, just trucking over defenders, is going to take this one up the sideline, and he will be hawked down by EJ Gaines. Not until he gets a very nice gain and gets his offense down to the 26-yard line. So first down and 10 for Russell. He has a good pocket. He's going to go to Sidney Rice, and we have no answer for him. He is straight up dominating Terrence Newman at this point in the game. And Russell Wilson slides out of the pocket, breaks the tackle of Pac-Man, and will go into the end zone for a touchdown. And on third down, the Bengals have to give the ball right back. We overthrow Orson Charles on the play, so we only lead by 3 points with 2 minutes left in the game. Russell Wilson's chance to take the lead is here, but instead he throws it to the side of the hall monitor. And you guys should know, no catch in the hallway without a hall pass, as Leon Hall comes down with an interception, and the Bengals can't get anything going. We're going to try to pick up a new set of downs so we can put it away, and AJ Green is there, and he gets us down to the 2-yard line. We're going to hand it off to Giovanni Bernard to just put that icing on the cake, and we increase our lead back to 10. And it is not over for the Seahawks yet, though. They still have a timeout and a minute left. They're going to go deep, and EJ Gaines this time picks him off as he's going deep for Sammy Watkins. So the Bengals will walk out of PB with a victory in their final home game of the regular season. We will go on the road for the final 2 games of the season. We defeat the Seahawks by a score of 27-17, and Carlos Dunlap definitely led the defense this week with 3 sacks, 6 tackles, and just was in the face, like I said about 3 times this commentary, but just was in the face of Russell Wilson, not allowing him to get too many rushing yards. 2 interceptions, both came in the final 2 minutes of the game, which is uncharacteristic of somebody like Russell Wilson. And we actually kept Marshawn Lynch in check. I'm so proud of my defensive line for that, and this front 7 in general. I'm proud of the secondary for coming up and helping in run situations, but I knew that kick return by Dexter McCluster would make a huge difference in this game. Although we won by 10 points, that kick return made it a completely different game for the Bengals. And our defense played well. Their defense played well. Our offense was struggling at first. I mean, we got it together a little bit in the second half. This was a very impressive win over an 8-5 Seahawks team. But moving on, we get our contract rejected by Geno Atkins, that second offer, so he will be testing the free agency. And I cannot franchise tag him 2 years in a row, I don't think. But, I mean, that's disappointing. I wanted him to play for us, but I didn't want to give him too much money. I gave him the money he wanted. You guys saw that. I gave him a couple million more than what he desired, and I don't understand why he just won't come back to play for the Bengals. I don't know what it is. I offered him so much money this year and last year, and then I used a franchise tag on him last year. It's like he just doesn't want to play for us, so I think we just have to cut our losses and allow him to go play elsewhere. And Andy Dalton, it seems like we're going to use our franchise tag on him because the two sides just can't come to an agreement. But I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.